Hey everybody, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another video. This one's for all the Korean film fans out there. I just want to kind of wrap up the month of February and look to March to see what we have coming soon. So we're going to take a look at some of the up and coming movies that are coming out, and just want to wrap up February real quick. Only did get to see two new ones in theaters this month, The Closet and Beasts Clawing at Straws, both above average films that if you want to know more, you can check out my reviews on the channel if you haven't already. So before we get into what's coming in March, I did want to make a few comments about sort of the ongoing situation here in Korea with the coronavirus health scares going on. It's been pretty difficult. People don't really want to go outside. It's hard to get food. In some respects, I usually order from the supermarket, but a lot of stuff is sold out. Also, masks are sold out everywhere. It's kind of crazy. They're telling us to stay inside at all costs. A lot of schools are canceled. When they tell me to stay inside, all I have to do is, yeah, I think I can do that. So luckily, I like staying at home and watching movies, so not terrible for me. However, which is kind of unprecedented, they did delay some of the theater releases that are coming soon. So that is one way that has directly affected me. I usually go to the CGV movie theater. It's not, to me, I really like CGV. I love the caramel popcorn, but it is the theater that's closest to me. And when I go booking, I go to this website, and if you'll notice, there's a pop-up right here. Time to Hunt and Parasite black and white version have been delayed due to coronavirus. That's as far as I've known, and I've been in Korea. We've had the swine flu, H1N1 scare, we had MERS, and now we have this coronavirus. This is the first time I've ever seen a movie get delayed with its release, and it's understandable because if I was the makers of these movies, I would not want it coming out while everyone's afraid to go outside. That's not very fair. So I do understand it. I just think, wow, it just kind of shows the significance of kind of what we're dealing with. And it looks like, I'll show you where all those movies are. It's kind of crazy. So here's all the March movies, the sort of the bigger ones, clumped together. We've got Innocence, Time to Hunt, Intruder, and Call, all here, all without, and it's very normal for Korean movies to just kind of say coming out in March or coming out in July, but these are movies that, like, Time to Hunt was supposed to be out. It was supposed to be out last week. It's pretty unusual. So let's get into the movies. All right, so taking a look at what we can look forward to, assuming things don't get worse and these movies do eventually come out. One movie that is still scheduled to release, Korean movie coming out on March 12th, is called The Nightmare. And this looks like it's a movie that it was maybe more of an indie genre movie. I think it premiered at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival, so could be a cool little genre piece. It's kind of about a father whose daughter dies suddenly and in a car accident, and he just cannot, obviously it's very painful for him, and I think he is a film director and screenwriter, and sort of to get over some of the demons that's haunting him, he writes his movie in a way that maybe he writes her into this script or something like that. But he's making this horror movie, I think, called Nightmare. And so certain mysterious things start happening, and he starts confusing his dreams and reality. It looks kind of interesting. So if that's all that is available, I might go check it out. But I would say that my expectations for that movie are a bit on the low side, I'm going to say. And my interest is a medium. So that is a possibility. I do like that kind of style. Next up is Parasite Black and White Edition. So most of you guys have already seen Parasite. One thing that has been interesting with Bong Joon-ho is that he has released his previous film, Mother. I have it right here on Blu-ray. This is the black and white edition of Mother, his movie. I thought the black and white edition was very interesting, and it did kind of change the experience for me. However, Mother to me is not the most colorful palette of movie. It has some very colorful scenes, especially like the one in the wheat fields and things like that. But I really did like the black and white version of this, and I do anticipate the black and white version of Parasite bringing a similar sort of new experience to it. And with Parasite being one of those movies that is going to be in the record books, the history books for all time, as a classic going forward. And I do feel like that even when I watch it, I know it's a modern classic. I get that feeling, but black and white might sort of take it over the top to give sort of a super classic vibe to it already. So I have really high expectations for this. But that being said, I love the colors in that movie already. So my interest is high, but my expectations are very high for how that's going to go. So I'm anticipating also there will be a black and white Blu-ray edition of Parasite when it comes out. There is still not a Blu-ray edition of Parasite in color version though, so perhaps can we expect a double feature? Anybody out there? That would be cool. Okay, let's move on to take a look at another movie that's coming out, a brand new movie that's highly anticipated, called Time to Hunt. Now, this movie is about a character named Junsuk who gets released from jail, and the world that he is returning to is just a world without order. It's lawless. There's chaos everywhere. And it looks like he's going to be reuniting with some of his old friends, and he's got a plan to sort of turn things around and just sort of not let society as it stands dictate his future. So they sort of try to take things into their own hands, but it looks like something in the movie, they get something starts coming after them. So I do think it might be sort of a double hunt chase type movie where they're going to be going after something and somebody's going to be going after them. Now, what has me the most excited about Time to Hunt is that not just the actor, Lee Jae-hoon, who's in this, who you guys might know from The Phantom Detective, Architecture 101, but most importantly for me, Lee Jae-hoon was also in a film called Bleak Night, or the Korean title Paskun, which was directed and written by the director of Time to Hunt, director and writer of Time to Hunt, Yoon Sung-hyun. Bleak Night was a movie that blew me away on so many levels. There's so many movies that I watch where the characters do something that just seems a little bit beyond reality. There's a big separation between, that's what a movie character does. That's not what real people would do. But something in Bleak Night, the characters just do exactly, maybe it's just from my lived experience, they do what I think I would do in that situation that they're put in. So it just felt so real in the decision making that a lot of the characters made that it really stood out to me. It just had everything that I would have wanted the characters to do. I'm not saying they all did the right thing, but the decisions that were made. Anyways, this is what makes me so excited. There's also other actors in this movie. Chae Woo-shik, you guys are, the world is probably very familiar with this actor now. He was the brother character in Parasite. Also, which is kind of something that I'm looking forward to, the actor Park Jung-min is in this. He's a rising star in Korea that blew me away with some of his roles in Dongju, Portrait of a Poet, and one of my favorite movies of 2018, Keys to the Heart. My expectations for Time to Hunt are high, but my interest is very high, so I can't wait to see this one. Now, another movie that's coming out is called Innocence. The story of this one sounds kind of interesting. There's a makgeolli, which, let me explain what that is first. Makgeolli is a Korean sort of rice wine that it's sort of that cloudy, milky color looking alcohol that you guys might see in movies. A lot of times it's served in sort of a metal type dish plate that looks almost like a dog food bowl. Anyways, really fun to drink that, and it tastes pretty good. Lots of different flavors you can get from all over the country. So in this movie, there's a makgeolli pesticide murder case, which basically the main character in this one is an attorney who is defending her mom, who's losing her memory, that is being accused of doing something with the makgeolli and poisoning some villagers that got them killed. During the investigation or the trial, I'm not sure exactly what happens in the movie yet, some other secret truths start coming out and things get complicated. So this one, it looks sort of like a police procedural / thriller movie. Could be pretty interesting. I do think we have high hopes for some of the actors that are in this one, but my expectations are more on a medium level, and it just kind of seems, like a pretty decent thriller, and my interest is also medium. There's another movie called Call, which is scheduled to come out sometime in March, hopefully, coronavirus pending, but it stars the actress Park Shin-hye, which I absolutely loved from Heart Blackened. She played the attorney for Chae Min-sik's daughter to defend her in that movie. And also Jun Jung-so is in this. Now, this is the actress who had her debut in Lee Chang-dong's masterpiece Burning. So this is going to be her second movie, so looking forward to seeing what she can do. And it's about a character who's living in 2019 who gets a phone call from a woman from 1999, apparently who lived in the same house as she's living in now. They build a friendship, they tell some things to each other, and I think get into a little playing some games that ultimately threaten to change their pasts and their futures. Now, this story device has been done before. We've seen Ditto, we've seen Ilmar, we've seen, there's a K-drama called Signal, where some detectives from different times work together to solve a case. There was even a movie done by the director of My Sassy Girl called, it was another time traveling type movie where two detectives work side by side from different timelines to solve a case. Now, the thing about those first two movies that I mentioned, Ditto and Ilmare, those were melodramas. So I just want to throw out your shout out to Ilmar, one of the best movies ever made. How well will it work? This movie does look kind of like a thriller, so perhaps that could be a new element, something to look forward to, but we'll have to wait and see. I was really impressed with the visuals that I saw in the trailer for Call, so that's something that goes a long way for me. That makes me really interested to seeing Call. So my expectations, just because of the similar story elements that we've seen, is at a medium for this movie, but my interest is high. I'm definitely going to check out Call. Now, another movie that's coming out is called Intruder. Now, this is from first-time director Sun Wong-pyung, and it's about this lost sister who apparently went missing 25 years ago, is being found and shows up and is reunited with her family. And the older brother starts getting very suspicious when she begins acting very weird. Something is off. So he starts investigating, digging deeper, and finds out that she was at some sort of scene of a murder that had happened the day that she went missing. And then the truth starts to unravel, and his family becomes in danger, presumably from this woman. Also, sounds kind of familiar for some reason. It did remind me of, I believe it was a 2017 thriller called Forgotten from Korea. We're going to have to wait and see on this one. Although, just looking at the trailer, it's got some really good actors in it. It does feel a little bit run-of-the-mill. So my expectations for this one are low, but my interest is medium. That's pretty much for the actors' sake. The final thing that we can talk about just real quick here, looking forward to things coming soon. The posters for the new, you know what it is, coming soon. The sequel. Train to Busan sequel called Peninsula. is on the way. It's expected to release sometime this summer. It stars Kang Dong-won, and the actress in it, oh my god, Lee Jung-hyun. Yes, Lee Jung-hyun is the actress. So now this is a movie that is going to be another huge one. I'm anticipating, just because how epic Train to Busan did all over the world. That being said, I was going to be honest with you guys. Kang Dong-won, although there's so many movies that he was in that I really like, to be honest, he is not my most favorite actor. And his last two movies were very underwhelming. Innang, The Wolf Brigade, and Golden Slumber. So I am hoping that he turns it, things kind of turn around for him, and he's in one that really knocks it out of the park again with Peninsula. So hoping. The actress, though, I first saw her in the movie Alice in Earnestland. Very, very, very impressive, and I do think this could be a big launching pad movie for her, assuming things go really well. So that is something that is down the road. So assuming we can get through this coronavirus trouble, that is something that we can very much look forward to coming this summer. All right, so that's going to wrap up our looking to the future of March Korean movies video, and pretty much saying goodbye to February. I do have one other Korean movie review, at least one, planning before March runs out. It's going to be a surprise review. Don't want to give anything away, but I'll give you a clue. It's going to be a movie that came out before 2010. So hope you guys can look forward to that. Let me know what you think. I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Keep watching movies.